Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. How is everyone tonight? Trish is getting her coffee ready, so she will be with us momentarily. Hello, hello. I hope everyone has their coffee. Yes. And their chocolate. I was sent this chocolate by a subscriber who happens to be a chocolatier. So we now have a chocolatier in our community. How awesome is that? I'm so excited. Hi, honey. Hello, everyone. So, I was just sent this by a subscriber. Okay. She text messaged me this article and she said, this is going to affect every single one of us. So I want to read this to you really quick before Trish comes in. Okay. Because she has some very important things that she wants to discuss with all of you. Okay. This is called the egg. Now, this is not a joke. The egg Armageddon. This is without a word of a lie. Okay. Egg Armageddon. Massachusetts voter passed animal welfare law that effectively bans eggs from being sold in the state. So if you live in Massachusetts, guess what? So eggs will largely disappear from Massachusetts grocery store shelves come January 1st of 2022, unless state lawmakers act quickly to amend a strict new animal welfare law. So what this says to me is start stocking up and learn how to preserve your eggs. If you know how to dehydrate your own eggs, start to learn how to dehydrate your own eggs. If you have a food dehydrator, that's what I do. Or you can also get the silicone ice cube trays and freeze them. Okay. In 2016, Massachusetts voters overwhelmingly passed an animal treatment measure that, in part, made it illegal to sell eggs born of hens with less than 1.5 square feet of floor space in their enclosure. And now that decision, scheduled to take effect in 2022, is coming home to roost, and it threatening to wipe out the supply of eggs in the state. And according to the Boston Globe, egg industry representatives such as New England Brown Egg Council are predicting that the new rules will decrease the state's current egg supply by approximately 90%. So what this means to me is the surrounding states like Rhode Island, okay, people who live in Massachusetts are going to go to other states to get their eggs. So if you live in surrounding states of Massachusetts, this is going to affect you as well. So the council's general manager, Bill Bell, told the Globe that retailers are in a huge quandary, adding, you're looking at just a huge shortage. It'll be egg Armageddon if they don't fix the law. And that was warned by Steve Vendemia, president of Hillendale Farms in Connecticut, which boasts about 2 million chickens that produce eggs sold in Massachusetts supermarkets. Under the new rules, he won't be able to sell the product. Brad Mitchell, head of the Massachusetts Farm Bureau, told the news that the new rule will make it impossible for egg producers to keep up with the state's demand, since on average chickens lay one egg per day and each resident eats one egg per day. We've got about 300,000 to 400,000 egg-laying chickens in Massachusetts. We've got about 7 million people, so you do the math. The new standards, which apply to all egg products, cover eggs imported from other places as well. So even if they were to import eggs from other states to Massachusetts, guess what? You can still no longer have these eggs. And it's not just eggs, it's egg products as well. So hard-cooked eggs, liquid eggs would all be removed from the shelves come January 1st if the law is not changed. So such a load of bull. But there you go. Yes, Wilma, I freeze eggs. I have about a year's supply worth of eggs in my freezer that I froze myself. So, yes, Alexandra, you're right. And this is how it starts. So, yeah. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because it was brought to mind. So obviously, this is going to affect us, and not just in Massachusetts, but surrounding states as well. So what happens to all the chickens? Will they be I don't know, Christina. That's a really good question. I don't know. So this is going to affect Trish as well. Egg Armageddon.
Oh.
Yeah.
They had warned us at the pantry maybe 3 weeks back that we're not just going to have shortages, that you'll be looking at $5 to $10 per dozen.
Well, starting January 1st, if the law is not changed, you're no longer going to be able to buy eggs or egg products in Massachusetts.
Is that why we've been stocking it to the rafters? Wow.
Yeah, new
really?
law.
So, I mean, I don't do much in that state, but still.
Yeah. Well, it would still affect you because people who live in Massachusetts will come to, surrounding.
Yeah. So, I mean, the pantry that I deal with is there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just in the back getting coffee, but at the same time, I had somebody else show up at the door for food, and the people I deal with weekly, for food. And I had said for a while now that I haven't seen many shortages here. We've
Right.
seen things a little light from time to time, but it looked like they were getting replenished.
Right.
And well, I have not been in the store for the last 3 weeks, and the people that showed up here today said, "Oh yeah, you're going to want to go."
Right.
You're
Here's
gonna
the
wanna
link to the article I was just reading, guys. Okay, I just posted it for you. All right. So there you go.
So yeah, apparently, much of what we've been saying all along, is coming about. I don't know what to make of it, really. But that was a good cover. What do you guys think about that? Are you seeing shortages in your area with regard to eggs, egg products? Because it can't just be one state. You got to understand that. That's not how they do things.
Right.
But it does not shock me that it would hit New England first. We are, first it's shortages in other nations, right? Certain things. They had mentioned at the pantry a while back that it would be flour, meats, eggs, cough syrup, and medicine for kids. That's one of the things they mentioned. You got to wonder why they're targeting these certain things. At least I do. Those are main staples that are family-oriented things.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know.
Right.
What do you guys think? And forgive me, I'm not on the chat just yet here because I just walked in the door from doing food out in the, it's quite this little operation out in the driveway passing out food.
Right.
Never thought I'd be doing that.
Yeah.
While eating dinner. Don't mind me.
So there's a lot going on, and it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse.
Yeah, I don't see this getting any better. I mean, I pray it does.
I know.
But I think we all do. But yeah, I'm not seeing it. So, quite the title for tonight.
Well, it's everything all wrapped up in together with a big yellow bow on it. Unfortunately.
So, what happened in New York City most recently here? Anybody in here from New York City? I'm sure there are quite a few. I'll be on the chat here shortly. But New York City, from what I hear, they are arresting people if in an establishment without their papers or their card, you know what I mean, that thing. So what's the rule on the books? The rule on the books. I'm not sure who exactly put it on the books, but it was this administration that did it. They redefined a lot of things, right? The word virus and other terms. Right?
Yeah.
Health emergency, they redefined that. And what have they done this last few weeks here in New York City specifically? Police arresting people that don't have that card.
Yep.
And the rule on the books is they can hold you indefinitely at a medical type facility without the ability to call anyone, talk to a lawyer, have any family in. You're basically taken. Now, calling you a health risk. Yeah. Might want to have some
more and more ridiculous.
More and more ridiculous, yeah, but when you're one of the ones that are hauled away to a medical facility for detainment until you are no longer a health risk, what are you going to do?
I know.
So I haven't heard if those people were released yet or not, or if they were forced to get it. But people had said a long time ago that they wouldn't use our military against us. They're using the cops against you in that instance. I'm sure there's a lot of great cops out there, but they want to keep their job. They got to support their families. And if they're thinking that they got it, so why can't you? And they deem you a health risk, then what?
Yeah, so I know.
I'm waiting to hear the outcry on that one. Okay, apparently it was done in public. They arrested people.
Well, is it or is it not discrimination to do such things?
Well, if they're deeming you a health risk, that has nothing to do with race, religion, creed, so it doesn't fall under the discriminatory category.
Yes, but they're putting division between the ones who are and the ones who are not. So is it or is it not discriminatory?
To arrest somebody for that? No, probably not discriminatory. And
yeah, but we're not committing crimes here. It's not like you went out and you robbed that restaurant that you were eating at.
Right. But I guess they're touting the mandate and saying, well, everybody has to have it. I mean, we know where the mandate's at, but they're saying in that particular city, you've got to have it. So how long until that becomes a nationwide thing?
I don't know if DeSantis would allow this to happen down here. I mean, I don't know because, would he fall in line with the
He wants
rest
to
of
keep his,
them.
he wants to keep his job. He will fall in line.
That's what I was. That's what I was getting to. I don't know if he would, but if it, on the slight chance that he did fall in line, we're in trouble.
He doesn't have a choice. None of them do.
Right.
None of them do.
Right.
They don't have an option. The only way is for the people to stand up against this. There are more of us than there are of them. But that hasn't happened yet, has it?
Right.
Because if we're all still waiting around for 45 to show up to save the
He's
day,
not coming back. This needs to
even if
stop.
he tried, it's going to be too damn late. So the idea of this going on and them being allowed to take people away without trial, without a phone call, not to notify anybody.
So you just might as well put him in jail because they say it's like, well, no, wait, because people who go to jail at least get a phone call.
Right. No, it has to be a medical facility. And so that's why I said, geez, that sounds like a psych ward to me.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to say you're crazy, you're a health risk, you need to go here. And here's my thing about that. Well, let's say that happens and somebody caves after a week or two, maybe a month, whatever. And they cave and they get the shot. You think you're going to be released after the treatment you got, knowing that you got a voice and you can speak about it? Really? I don't know. That's just my thought.
Voice anymore.
Well, you can still speak. You can still speak, though. You could technically get your story out there. So, again, those are just my thoughts.
Hi, Charles.
Do you think you would actually be able to communicate with people again? I don't know. Or do you think the juice they would give you may not make it so that you can? That's my personal opinion.
Bob wants to know, Trish, where is this info? He wants to share it.
Oh, I can get it for you. It's on my phone, and we are live on my phone right now. I will gladly send it to you, Autumn. It's just not going to be right this second. Okay. But that's why I asked about anybody in New York City on here tonight. Did any of you hear about the arrest? At least one, if not more, people that were arrested in an eating establishment. I don't know if it was a restaurant or a cafe. I don't know.
Dawn Marie said Applebee's.
Okay. So it's some kind of eating establishment, and they were arrested for not having their vax papers or proof of vaccination. So, that's a new one. So, what do you guys think about that?
Oh, it was the Cheesecake Factory too?
I don't know.
Wait. 6 at the Cheesecake Factory and then 4 at Applebee's.
Really? So, with regard to the title for tonight, as long as it isn't me, what happened 80, 85 years ago? The thumbnail pretty much gives you a clue. What happened in Germany? What happened to the surrounding nations? And what did they do? We all know what they did. We all know how horrific it was. But was it horrific to the people at the time? Because from what I recall, history-wise, even though many were horrified afterward, there were a specific group of people, most of the population of Germany, who said unfortunately went along with what was going on because it didn't affect them, as long as it wasn't me. Well, this is the same thing happening all over again, folks. Same group, different people, but the same group. So are we going to say, as long as it isn't me? Or are we going to stand up to this? What are we going to do? Because that's what's going to matter at the end of the day. What did the people do? Did the people tolerate it like they did 80 years ago? And we can look back on that now and be horrified about it, but what about now?
A lot of people, they ran and hid. Look at Anne Frank, for crying out loud.
Well, yes, as one of the ones that were hunted, but I'm talking about regular Germans and many of the surrounding countries.
Mm-hmm.
They held the motto of as long as it isn't me. It wasn't affecting them.
Right.
So when you see somebody hauled away, but it's not affecting you, or you see somebody that can't buy food, but it's not affecting you, maybe you got the first one, maybe you got a booster, maybe you learned and you're not getting any more. Who knows? Maybe someone in your family did. Are we going to stand up to it? And then if we are, okay, how? There's more of us than them, but how do we do it? Think about that. I'll be right back.
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know how to think. I really don't. As long as it isn't me, but regardless if it's you or not, it's somebody that you know. So of course it's going to be you, whether it's directly or indirectly. That's how I see it. That's exactly how I see it. Whether it's directly or indirectly, it is you, regardless. I don't know, Karen. I don't know where they're at.
I'm back.
I just said that regardless of if it's directly or indirectly, it is all of us. We're all going to be affected, whether it's directly or indirectly. That's how I feel.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
So can we learn from history?
We've tried, but history repeats itself. So
it repeats itself if you let it. If you let it.
Look what's going on.
Oh, I know. But
it's being allowed.
Yeah. That's my point. If you let it, it's being allowed. The hard part is, what does one person do? And we're not in that club, right? So what does one person do to stand up to this? What do we do? And I think everybody's struggling with that. What do we do?
Well, sure. We're all going to struggle because we don't know. See, we're all too spread out here. We're all too spread out. And we don't speak to each other on a daily basis. I mean, we try to, but we don't. And
well,
if anything were to go down, like, we don't have a way to communicate. Like, if something were to happen to either one of the Taras and we can't get a hold of them, we're not going to know. If something were to happen to Wilma or to JR or to KY Cat Rescue, or we're not going to know because we can't communicate with them. So, this is what I'm saying. It is going to directly or indirectly affect every single one of us, regardless. Regardless.
Yeah. So
I don't know, Butterfly. I mean, they very well could, but that would be the extreme, wouldn't it? But then again, they're doing things to the extreme now that you never thought we would ever see in our lifetime.
um, it's something that, I mean, we all have to just kind of think about how would we react in a situation like that. If you're somewhere alone or with others, and it would certainly be better with others, but if you're alone and something like that happens to someone that's nearby you and you see it, how do you react? What do you do?
I guess it really all depends on the person and how you would react to any situation. Me, I'm not the kind of person to just stand by and just watch and wait. I'm the kind of person that I react. Boom. I don't always think before I speak and think before I react. You know what I mean? I'm not, I've never been that person. I jump, and so if I see something happen like that, I guess it really would depend all on the situation. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see, police officers taking someone away, I don't know if I would stand down or not, because then again, you really don't know the situation of why. You know what I
Well,
mean?
again, yeah, again, I'm kind of under the assumption and at the moment for this conversation that you're in the same place, they're asking for papers, people don't have them, and because they asked you for yours too, and
Right.
maybe you had them, maybe you didn't. But my point is, what do you do? In your case, you've got medical exemption, right? So you could say, well, I have medical exemption and here it is. You could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you're with somebody else, a friend of yours, who doesn't? And they
Right.
turn around and they arrest the person.
Right.
Matter of fact, they could arrest you too, just for having an association with someone who isn't, right? Isn't that through contact tracing, all of that?
Right. Right. That's what I mean. This is
Right.
so hard.
Yeah.
This is a new way of life that we never thought we would ever be living. And
Right.
I don't know if I can do this anymore. I really can't. This is so hard.
So 2 years ago, this was entirely different. We've learned a whole new language. We've had to do things entirely different.
Did you ever think we would ever have to speak in code?
Nope.
The hell is that all
You never have to wear a face mask going anywhere. And from what I was told, in my region, face mask requirements begin here again on the 28th. Everybody. That's what I was told. So that would mean stores, restaurants, anywhere you do go, whether you're vaxxed or not.
Where you're at or countrywide?
In my region here.
Okay.
Yeah. So That's what I was told. And I was like, what? I was just told that in the driveway out here. So I have not looked to confirm it, but she's very, she lives right here, right in this neck of the woods here. So even though I do too, I am not on the news. She is. So just the fact that regardless of whether you're vaxxed or not, at the same time, she also mentioned to me, you don't know her, so I can say this, but her husband ended up having to take the shot, and so did her daughter, in order to keep their jobs.
It's coming down to that for Sean.
Yeah.
It's coming down that for, nobody knows. I didn't tell anybody here, but not only does he have to wear this, now he has to wear a shield over his face.
Right.
And only the ones that didn't get this have to do that.
Yeah. Well, here, even her husband, who didn't want to wear the mask all the time, he kept saying, I'm suffocating. I can't do it. I can't do it. So he ended up caving because, they flat out said, no health insurance. You're not going to keep the job. You won't be able to feed your family. So he caved. But now, as of the 28th, he's got to wear it anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it's getting ridiculous. So, it's kind of like, discrimination. Now who doesn't have this, because not only is it this, now it's this too. And it's like, really?
Well, here it's going to be everybody, no matter what. So you won't know. No.
But the ones that did get this, all they have to wear is this. But the ones who don't have it, they stand out now.
Here they haven't mentioned face shields yet. I'm sure it's probably coming, though.
What's lies? What are you talking about? Lies. Raw food writer. Who are you talking to? Who's lying? So, I'm not lying. We don't know where you are. She's in New England. That's where she's at.
And we'll leave it at that, because we don't know where you are, nor do you want to put your address on here since it's fully public. So anyway, I'm not getting it. I don't care. But it is interesting how they can force people to get something that they don't want just by saying, well, you can't keep your job or your health insurance, perhaps.
My husband's work lied, had to wear a mask anyway. My husband's work lied. No. You're not hearing me, okay? The unvaxxed not only have to wear a mask, they also have to wear a face shield. But if you have the vax, all you have to do is wear a mask. So now the unvaxxed stick out even more. That's what I was getting to. Wise ass. And I'm in Tampa, just so you know. Since you have to know everybody's fucking address. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. Oh, no, not today. Not today, Satan.
So, I didn't get a chance to look at the live stream when we were talking about New York City. I don't know if there's anyone in here from New York City, and did you see or hear about the person that got taken away / arrested?
Not today, Satan. Sorry.
All right, so 4 people arrested at a New York City Applebee's during a protest. So were they arrested because they were part of the protest, or part or because they didn't have the vaccination to dine in. Huh. Hey, dirty white boy. Anyway, yeah, it's all about conditioning. It is. Getting people ready for what is coming. Absolutely. Correct. Yeah, the videos are on TikTok, but I don't believe 90% of what's on TikTok. I really don't. Anyway, I'm gonna refill my coffee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sorry about that. Mm-mm. Yes, I called you a wise ass. What you gonna do? You're agreeing with me now? All right, whatever. Mm-mm. You swear like 10 truckers. Karen. Shame, shame. Know your name. In New York, it's called SantaCon. What is SantaCon? That's why people are getting arrested for acting dumb. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Oh, I love you too, Carol. Yeah, Dan, TikTok is poison. No joke. Jason from Angry Prepper said no papers for both. I haven't really seen him post. Is he okay? I haven't really seen him post anything. Sorry, I posted 2 videos today. There was just a lot of information that I had to get out to you guys, okay? Just so much information. There really is. So much is coming. I got a mouth on me. Former military brat. Sprouse, you don't offend. Well, thank you. You'd be surprised on how many times I get yelled at by people because I said an oopsie. Blue Rose. Sean tried to get a medical exemption, but because he has no medical history of any kind, he could not get one. He tried to go the religious exemption, and they denied it. So, no, honey, I don't know what Monkey Works is. Oh, I didn't know Jason was in Kentucky. Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jason went to Kentucky. That's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. Nikki just walked in the door, and it's her birthday tomorrow, so
Yes.
I made dinner for her tonight. And
Happy birthday, Nikki.
Yeah, I don't think she's on yet, but yeah. So I wanted to make sure she knew what was for dinner tonight. Anyway.
Carmen, you literally have to have an extensive medical history of problems. Like me, I got an exemption. But I have years and years and years of paper trail. You know what I mean? To show proof of why I needed an exemption. So, yeah, and Jason's an awesome guy. He really is.
Aaron asking if my back is better. Yes. I can't say it's 100%. I still am a little sore if I move the wrong way, but I've beat my body up pretty badly over the years, so that doesn't surprise me. So yeah, and I'm doing much better. You don't have to prop me up now.
Oh, and thank you guys for the compliments on my trees. Yes, I wanted to show you. I know a lot of people like to look at different people's trees, so I wanted to show you what my Christmas trees look like.
And just to let you guys know, I have a religious exemption on mine, but there's a lot of people that have them right now, and the ones that I know of are doing okay with them, but there are several others that I know of that their jobs are challenging their religious exemptions, saying that it is rather convenient for them to have it now. So they're giving them a questionnaire to answer. And I found that ironic. I wouldn't think that you would have to. One of the questions is, how long have you been part of the faith that you're in? So you actually have to answer questions. Another one is, do you take any kind of medication? Tylenol, perhaps. They can check your history on that. Government-wise, actually can check your history, your purchases, your different things. So I found that interesting. And then another question was, do you have any tattoos? Right? A lot of people do. And so they're trying to say, well, you're not very religious then, are you? The fact that they could try to do that is amazing. Whether or not someone has a tattoo really has no bearing on the situation, but
I know priests who have tattoos from when they were in the army or whatever.
Right, exactly. So that's what they're saying, well, how long have you been religious, that kind of thing. They're trying to use, again, your past against you, and they'll always try to do that kind of thing. But it's amazing what people will do and how low they will stoop to get what they want.
JK, that's a very, very, very good point. They would never challenge it from Muslims.
Good point.
Yeah. Desert girl, I own my own exemption. I love it. And the way that Sean looks at it is he has natural immunity because he had the Rona back in February. And he had the antibody test done, and his antibody count is higher than anyone who had the arm candy anyway.
So, what do you do when the shot isn't, technically mandatory by a certain date, or even is it legal? I don't know. I mean, that's debatable, right? What do you do with that? But yet your job says, yeah, I have to.
Right.
What do you do with that? Hire yourself a good lawyer. But even then, most people can't.
I don't know. We're going through it right now with Sean. And he's literally scared out of his mind because he's probably going to lose his job that he's been at for 21 years.
Yeah.
So. There are other jobs out there, Bomagen, you're right. But other jobs also require it.
Well, even if they don't, if you want health insurance,
Yeah.
you know,
You're right. They need to recognize natural immunity. But as long as Tony Baloney is around, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I know about post office workers. I know. Walk out if you see this happening. If I see what happening?
well,
SEAN, Steph. SEAN. I know a lot of people say SHAWN or SHUWN. It's SEAN.
Mama Bear. He belongs in jail. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh, Tony Baloney. Yeah.
Yeah. Problem is, isn't that where a lot of people tend to go to learn and actually get worse, right? You might actually get a little bit more educated in prison and become worse than he currently is. That wouldn't be good.
What was that? How can you give informed consent for a V when they will not tell you what is in the V? And if you get sick or die, that violates the Nuremberg Code.
Technically correct.
Mm-hmm. They did initially Proud Mom. They had given him, or all of the officers, until November 12th, and then it got pushed, and then it got pushed again, and then it got pushed again. So now it's January something. I can't remember. So I don't know. They keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. I don't know what the date is now. It's January something. He's a psychopath according to the book that Kennedy wrote.
I think he's a psychopath, period. They probably redefined that word too, though.
It's all been passed. Is Vex still experimental? It's a Vex that can be sued, plus must list ingredients. Yes, but if you've ever looked on the vial or the piece of paper that comes in the box with the vial, there's no list of ingredients.
Right. It's amazing. It's on the actual box, so if you look at the actual box, but are you going to ever see that?
Right.
I don't have a link to my Facebook page here, but on my Facebook page, I have one of the actual boxes.
Right.
With every single one of the ingredients on it. It's the AstraZeneca one.
Right.
I'll see if I can get you a shot of that.
Right. No, Marie, Sean's been with Homeland Security for almost 21 years. How can we not be scared by all of this? Try not to let fear lead your life. Mm-hmm. You know, the more you focus on pain and the more you focus on fear, the less you can focus on God. That's the only way I can see it. That's the only way I'm you know. that's it.
So somebody in here is saying that their neighbors were charged $503 for the boosters.
I thought all of those things were free.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too, although I guess I'm not totally surprised, but I hadn't heard it come up yet.
Right.
I had heard that certain insurance companies were going to start charging people $50 more every month for their insurance if they weren't vaxxed.
Right.
That's what I heard. I still don't know of anyone myself that has had that charge taken out of their paychecks.
Right.
But it would not shock me if your health insurance goes up for it.
Thank you, Recyclable Homestead, for joining us.
Like I said, this is a big club, and none of us are in it. The insurance companies, it's the stockholders, the big stockholders for all these really big pharmaceutical companies, and insurance is one big scam. We all know it. You pay and you pay and you pay, but when you go to collect on something, good luck to you, because they'll nickel and dime you every chance you get.
Yes, Stephanie, I know about that. She said if Sean must get it, make sure he asks about the number that's on the remember we were talking about this, if it's 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, it's not even about asking for the vial. It's not even about asking for the number. You want the vial.
Right.
And not just one that they hand you, but you want to, that's if you're getting it. You want to see them use that vial with that needle right then and there. Not done in another room or anything. You want to see it. And then you want that vial.
Right.
Yeah, you want the numbers on the vial. A 1, a 2, or a 3.
Right.
1.
Now, is it the very last number?
It's supposed to be a dash or, yes, a last number.
Okay.
I thought it was a dash, but it may not be. It definitely ends in a 1, a 2, or a 3. 1 is placebo.
Okay.
2.
And the placebo is the one that you want, right?
Well, yeah, but don't you think you're going to have to pay to get that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not any part of a medical field of nothing, I don't know.
Placebo is, in that case, it's saline. That's all it is.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, see,
It's
Stephanie would know this because she's the herbologist of the family. You know what I mean?
In that particular case, we'll call it a placebo, but it's saline.
Okay.
And number 2 are the testers.
Okay.
Mostly given to the military, but they've been testing on the military for decades.
Yeah, I know. Also tell Sean to ask them to be sure to aspirate before giving the injection. Less chance of accidentally getting in blood vessel. Okay. I hope that none of this even has to be addressed. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm serious. But, it's like this is what's coming.
Yeah. What else is coming? An awful lot of boosters every time, all the time. And it doesn't matter.
There's 8 of them, isn't there?
I don't know exactly, but I can tell you that it doesn't matter if you've had 1 or 2 or 3. If they require 4, it's like you didn't have any. You got to have it. And God forbid we end up with that stupid passport thing that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Your passport would now be null and void unless you have that latest, greatest injection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could do it all. It doesn't matter. You're going to continue to be an experiment. So
You're right. It is. This world is getting way too crazy. And, someone just said, we are a free people, act like it. We're not going to be free for very much longer. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Uh, did I see your response, Tony?
Somebody asking on here about Walmart or China Mart accepting digital forms of payment. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise known as Bitcoin. But they will probably do others too. They're just getting people used to the idea.
Yeah. Yes, Tony, I saw it. Thank you. Barb, we've been on for almost an hour, honey.
Oh, well. Just realized what time it was myself.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah,
So,
no kidding, Sheila. I know it. I think that is the main factor between all of us. That it scares us more than the V does. The juice scares us more than the V does.
well, even so, yeah. But the fact that they could require, demand, or insist that you get each and every one of them, or you're not going to eat.
Yeah.
You can't go somewhere. You can't do something. You can't. They're making us more and more like China every day.
I know.
China's one big social experiment right now, right? And that's what they want. They want control.
I know. I
And
just
this
wish
this lovely administration that we have is so heavily in bed with China to begin with. They couldn't find their way out of a paper bag. They're gonna, if they do, it's gonna be one that has the word Walmart written on it. But anyway, sorry.
Don't make me laugh with a mouthful of coffee. Oh my God, I almost spit it out on the floor.
So anyway,
You're terrible.
that's nothing. You should hear what I say off camera. But no, what they said a decade ago about China owning the US, they weren't wrong.
Right.
When we stopped producing our own goods to the extent that we have, which I'll blame Bill Clinton for again, I'll always beat him up. That right there changed us from being able to steer the direction that what is that noise?
It's me.
So it changed the direction and the course for this nation in such a way that there's no going back. And he knew what he was doing when he did it.
There's a lot of people who used to be in power that could flip a switch and help all of us.
Yep.
Why won't they?
Well, in the case of 45, we can say that his family was heavily threatened, right? You can
Even before him.
Right. So you can leave and leave quietly, or not have anyone to leave and go back home to, or the other, yes, there are same conditions.
But they will take us. Why do they listen to those threats? They have more power than the idiot that's in office right now. If they were to ever come back, we have more respect for them than we do for the person that's in office right now.
Would they?
Yeah. I have more respect for any past president with the exception of Obama. I have more respect for any past president or Clinton than the guy that's in office right now. No joke.
My mother calls him Obama. Yeah, I'm mixed on that.
I know.
You know, people are living under the false reality that presidents are elected.
They're selected. Everybody knows that.
I think people know it, but they don't truly believe it. Many of us here do, sure, but the general public, they don't truly believe that.
Okay, I have a question to answer.
All right.
Uncle Jabbo, I do both for different reasons. Freezing my eggs for bacon reasons, dehydrating my eggs for eating reasons, for scrambled eggs and whatnot. But freezing my eggs, I like to use when I'm baking or making breads or pastas. Okay.
All right, one for me to answer on here. In my opinion, is gold or silver the better thing to stockpile? Thank you for putting that in all caps. Is gold or silver better? It would depend on your situation entirely. And it also depends on how much money you have. Silver is a better option for most people to acquire because it's cheap. So, which is better? In my opinion, silver. One, because it's cheap. Two, because you will get more profit from it than you will from gold. But it also depends on what you want to do with it. Because if you want to convert it to cash later because you want more money, it will depend on the circumstances of this nation at that time. Because if you convert it to cash and cash is crap, well, it's not going to do you any good. If you're going to use it and hold out until it's really high and you trade it for something that you truly want, that you don't currently have, then fine. It depends on what you want to do with it. I say buy silver for a reason. I don't necessarily tell people to buy gold. Again, it's about the price point. So I still see the price point on both of them coming down a little bit more than where they currently are. And I'm talking about the physical metal, not the paper products. Sorry. Gold and silver prices being manipulated. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal.
I bought my father silver for Christmas, and the prices are just, wow.
Yeah. They are, but you know what? When you see them up at hundreds of dollars per ounce, you won't be complaining about what you paid for it.
Oh, sure. When I was at the store, at the coin shop that I always go to, there was a couple in there that were buying actual silver bars. You know how you could buy gold bars or silver bars? These people were buying silver bars. They bought $6,000 worth of silver bars.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was like, I wish. And I'm here, I'm like, I got $75 to spend.
I actually prefer the coins versus the bars myself. One, because they are smaller and you can, break up a transaction real easy.
Yeah.
They look nice. Granted, they look awesome. But really, when it comes down to it, hello. I have a puppy that just came in. Hello. um, when you want to break up a transaction of any type that you're looking to do, you don't want to be doing it with a bar. You really don't.
How to dehydrate eggs. If you have a food dehydrator, what to do? Okay, scramble the eggs up in a frying pan. No butter, no nothing. Use a non-stick frying pan. Okay, scramble up the eggs, cook them, put them in the food dehydrator, and just let it go. Okay, and then when you're done with that, if you want to make them into a powder, for easier storage, for your mason jars or whatever the case may be, get a food processor and, let the food processor do its thing, and then put it in your mason jars with a, you know, oh God, my brain just shut off for 2 seconds. Holy cow. Oxygen absorber pack or whatever the case may be. And there you go. Okay. Woo. Mom brain. Serious mom brain tonight.
I haven't considered doing that with eggs yet. I did recently though, first time ever, order, what's the name of the company? Nutrient Survival. I'm not a fan of any of that type of product, but there was one hole that I had in my inventory that I really had no solution for.
Mm-hmm.
And it was eggs. Granted, okay, you can dehydrate them, but I was looking for something that would store extremely long because of the way it's sealed and packed and all
Right.
of that.
Right.
So I did just very expensive. But I got a case of the Homestyle Scramble as well as a case of the powdered egg. And I used AP, Alaskan Preppers Link, saving 10% on that deal
Mm-hmm.
too. But still super expensive. My God. But I figured, okay, well, hopefully I don't have to do this too many times. I got a case each. And I just figured one and done,
Yeah.
I hope. I have a lot of my rice and beans and that kind of thing already put in place, but I didn't have any solution on the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, according to the package on it, it contains a tremendous amount of eggs. So I would be dehydrating for quite a long time if I were to try doing that on my own.
Mm.
So just an alternative if people do want it. Alaskan Prepper AP. If you go onto his site, he has a 10% off of all Nutrient Survival. He does get a kickback on it, but it doesn't really cost you more for it.
Right. Jean, I would not do that only because onions take a hell of a lot longer than eggs to dehydrate. You could possibly ruin the eggs because of the onions while dehydrating. So I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I do it as an ingredient. If you want to add dehydrated onions to it later when you're cooking them, great. Right. I wouldn't dehydrate them at the same time.
Right.
And weren't you the one that mentioned to me that onions stink up your entire house when you're dehydrating?
Oh my! It'll be smelling like a deli. Yeah, when I dehydrate onions, I put it out in the garage.
Well, I don't mind the smell of a deli when I walk into a deli.
You would mind this when it's going on for 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good point. Sweet and spicy. Have I heard about the USA being a corporation and not an independent country? Yes, I have.
Wow.
Wow, what?
No, I didn't know about that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Stephanie Joe. Correct. A defunct corporation.
Oh.
Correct. There's more to it. I wasn't going to go into it, but yeah.
What is that, Mountaineer Mama? Try dehydrating ramps. What is that? Or do I want to know?
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there. Wow. 80 eggs at a time. Wow. Goodness
Wow.
gracious. Hmm.
No, I did not watch anything from Pinball today, Duckman. Sorry. I really didn't watch any YouTube today. I was so busy in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, ramps are like a wild garlic. Okay. Thank you. Or an onion. Okay. Wild.
Amarna,
Hmm.
Amarna asking, are my banking colleagues panicking? No, they're not. You know, things are going on there right now. A lot's happening. But at the end of the day, they know their stocks are going to go up. And they'll continue to go up quite a long time. And who is it? Lovely JP Morgan just got fined a massive sum of money.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter. What is it, 200 million or something like that? It doesn't really matter that they got fined. You got to understand how it works. They plan ahead knowing that they're doing something wrong, so they put the fines on the books anyway, knowing that
Oh,
they're going to pay it. What?
did we hear Hal Turner last night? No, I didn't listen to him. Why would what happened?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
So
I
let's go
know
back
about
to
his mom dying, but
yeah, funeral was tough. Um, yeah, the so as I was saying, JP Morgan got fined like something like $200 million. That's nothing to them. They put
no,
that
but wow.
they put that on the books as an expense. They know about it ahead of time. They know it's coming eventually. So that's all cost average on their expenses ahead of time. It's just a matter of time before they get fined. They don't care. It's called the cost of business. They plan for it. Doesn't matter to them. They're going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it because it makes money. A lot of money. 200 million, nothing.
When a bank is fined and they pay it, where does that money go? I don't know.
Where do you think it goes?
Federal Reserve? I don't know.
Right back to the central bank, which just feeds it right back to them anyway, by way of interest and all the different paper products that they're selling.
A black hole.
Well, that's one I agree with. I mean, not that I don't agree with people here, but this one I do. Olives and peppers. Bush, great grandpa, was on the board of directors that helped with regard to the stuff that happened 80 years ago. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll probably catch crap for that later. I don't care. So, anyway, I do love to get myself in trouble, don't I? Yep.
Yeah, I heard about the PayPal thing and the Zelle and Venmo and this and that, and I'm like,
Yep.
yikes. Anything
Yep.
over $600 or something like that.
Well, honestly, that whole $600 thing, that's just a crock anyway.
I know.
Because, if they're going to look at your bank balance, then they turned around and they changed it and said, okay, well, we're not going to bother with anything that's $600. We'll just do it for 10,000. But they meant 10,000 accumulative for the year. And everybody does more than 10,000 in a
Well,
year.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. So people thought it was just 10,000 per transaction. So people didn't make us think about it, but no, it's not. It's 10,000 accumulative for the year on anything. Yeah. So, we're not going to get around that one. They're going to do it anyway. And when it goes all digital and your bank account now becomes a Federal Reserve account, or they say open a new account over here and we'll make sure you have your money, but it's a Fed Reserve account. They can look at them all because they are their account. They can examine everything all the time and never tell you.
This is insane. This is only getting better. You know that? And it's going to make people start to do illegal things in order to earn money. That's what this is going to lead to. And it's going to get so dangerous to do anything. No one's going to be willing to sell on eBay or Amazon or Etsy anymore. Small businesses just went down the tank.
Oh, they've been going down the tank for a long time.
Well, now it's just,
Yeah, they don't want them to exist. Val asking, are there any new videos in the works? Yes, I have about 5 at the moment. I'm kind of juggling them, trying to figure out which one's going to be the first one for the new year. I don't know yet.
Yeah, that's a really good question. What about inheritance tax now? Are they going to start when we get an inheritance? Are they going to say, "Oh, it was more than $600"?
Yeah. Well, that's what they're trying to do with farmers. Farmers specifically that now have the family farm. They're trying to charge you an appreciation tax, an increase. Whatever the farm has increased, even without selling it, you have gains. Are they going to do that with homes in the near future too? You bought it at X and now it's all the way up here, and yeah, they probably would. And then in that same calendar year, you have to pay that tax, for the end of the year. But the following year, let's say that housing bubble bursts and you're now way below where you paid tax on, you think you're getting it back? Think again. It's a different year. No. But they're trying to do that and have been doing it with farmers. But they're saying, okay, you have capital gains on the land. And so it's gone up X, Y, and Z. It's basically just going to put any nail in the coffin possible for the remainder of those family farms. So because they have to sell it to pay the tax.
So what would you suggest to any of us who have like a significant amount of money that we're going to leave to our children in the will? Would you suggest we convert that into, say, silver or something like that, or, and say, okay, well, it's going to be given to you in this form instead of that form, so you don't have to end up paying all these insane amount of money in tax because Potato decided to change this law?
If you truly want to give something to your kids, don't wait until you're dead to do it.
That's what I mean. Should we do it now?
If you're going to do something like that and you want to give it to your kids, don't give them cash.
Right.
It would be something like a convertible asset. You know what I'm going to say. It's round and it's silver.
Right.
But something that they can convert later into something that they can use, or set them up now. If you want to leave them your home, don't leave them your home in a will. Put their name on the deed.
Okay.
And you got to do that years ahead of time, because if you wait until you're sick and end up in a nursing home,
They
not
could
good.
take that nursing home will take that home in order to pay for your care. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how many other names are on it.
Right.
So, yeah, if you truly intend to leave the home to your kids, put their name on the deed. You don't ever have to tell your kids you did it. Just put their name on the deed.
Okay.
And that way there, you've got that taken care of.
Right.
In fact, depending on your kid, you might not want to tell them that ahead of time because, well, you
Right.
may not want them to know right now. Maybe they're too young. Maybe they haven't learned enough yet, whatever.
Right.
But I would say convert whatever it is you're wanting to give them into an asset that they can later convert however they choose. But if you're going to do a house, put their name on the deed.
What about a trust? Would that avoid the tax issue?
Yeah, I would say it would. But the way things are going these days, they can take and change any law they want with regard to that. So, yes, you could say that that would work today, but is that going to work in 5 or 10 years?
Right.
No. The way this is going, I don't trust any of it. I don't.
Right. Someone just said something and now I have to go find it. Darn it. When that happens. LLC or a trust. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Potato Joe just said dark winter. Yeah, I know. I heard that. He said that earlier. What was it? I can't
And
remember.
the thing about that is he's only saying what he's hearing. He's repeating stuff.
I know that. I know that. And I'm sure everybody here knows that as well. But, But see, dark winter means so many different things to so many different people. You just don't know how to prepare for something like that. Jean, who said that? There has been talk of if you have a garden, they can make you give a portion of what you grow to the powers that be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And is it ever gonna come to that? I don't know. Quite honestly, they can come in and wipe it out when you're not looking anyway. Would that happen? No, I mean, at that point, we are full on commie, right? And chances are most of us probably wouldn't be around for that anyway. Having expended some freedom seeds and or anything else.
Yeah, no kidding, Jack Cat. That's communism for you.
Yeah.
A dark, unhealthy winter. Yeah, I heard the same darn thing. All for the greater good. Greater what? There is no greater good anymore. This is ridiculous. I don't.
Yeah. Well, if they want to call it all for the greater good, how about the greater amount of us start getting some of that tax money back that we've been paying for our entire lives?
Yeah, right. That'll never happen.
No, of course it won't.
He's still deciding if he wants to cancel Pipeline 5. He shouldn't cancel any of those darn pipelines. All those people are getting put out of work, and for what?
So Margie made a really good comment here. She says she worries more about her neighbors helping themselves to the garden than the government coming and taking any of it. I agree with you. I agree with you because, especially if you're able to be seen well, by your neighbors, they know where to go, right? And if they're close by, they can do it at night.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be concerned too.
Yeah, Obi-Wan, you're dead on balls accurate. The Vax injuries haven't even begun yet. Dark winter indeed. Yeah. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and it is the greater evil. You're right. You know, this is just I can't.
Yeah.
Oh God. It's getting to be too much anymore.
Dirty white boy, mentioning that he noticed all of his neighbors staying in their houses and not coming out and saying hi like they used to. Yeah, they got people conditioned for that last year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And you think that'll get worse coming up? I do. Yeah. It doesn't take much to get people to do something, and then once they do it once, doing it a second time is real easy. Um, where are we headed in these upcoming weeks? All they want is what? Control. And they've got that already, for the most part. What they really want is to make more money. That's the next phase. Followed by a, I don't know, a war of some kind. You want to talk about Hal Turner? Yeah, I know about it.
Well, wait a minute. Hang on. Look at this. Just in 6 U.S. Court of Appeals reinstates potatoes nationwide vax or testing for mandate of large businesses.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well, don't really expect any court to be in favor of the people, do we? Most certainly not even the Supreme Court.
does dark winter mean no electricity? Duckman wants to know.
I don't know.
There's so
I
many
don't.
definitions to it. Nobody
Yeah,
really knows.
just be prepared with what you need. Make sure you have a way to cook. That's the biggest piece. You could deal without some electricity at night and some lights. In fact, that's probably better that you don't light up your home at night, especially if your neighbors are dark, right?
Right.
But make sure you have a way to cook some food. You can do the rest of the stuff you need to do around the home during the day. If you can afford a solar generator, or you have some solar items to charge your phones and do what it is you need to do to communicate with people, it's a good idea. In my version of Dark Winter, I see bodies stacking. That's what I see.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
I know. I know. My head goes in places I don't want it to go sometimes, but the reality is it's happening down in Mexico. It's happening in several places. They're being told to take the bodies home and bury them there. Yeah, chew on that one for a little bit. Yeah,
Jeez.
burying in the backyard, they actually give you a piece of paper to explain how to do it properly. Yeah. So, do I think that can happen? Easily. Won't take much. Put a bunch of chemicals in a bunch of people and then wait.
Have heard with no power, 90% with perish. Yeah, and it would all depend on the time of year too, Josh. Like down here where I'm at in the South, starting say April, May, June, all the way to like September. is our hottest time of year. If we had no power, that means no AC. People would perish every single day. I mean, there's days that we get up to the 115, 120 degrees here. And then up north in the winter, people would perish with no heat. You would freeze to death. So it really all depends.
This is the first time that I recall in decades. Today is what, the 17th? I
Yeah.
was actually outside, t-shirt and without shoes today.
Wow.
It's 65 degrees out.
Wow.
December 17th. What?
Yeah,
In October, some years we've had snow, significant snow.
yeah.
This is ridiculous. Although it is supposed to drop very, very soon.
It was 83 here today.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm like 72 and 74 under, nothing really above. I don't like that.
Yeah, Josh, that's another thing. What about people getting attacked coming out of the grocery store, followed home? That's happening now.
Well, yeah, and then you get the Apple AirTag, right? I mean, geez,
Yeah.
when I heard about that, I was like, all right, well, that's interesting. Something cheap, economical, and that they can retrieve themselves when they come to rob your home. Really? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I know there's so many things, because who was it that just said it? Josh, I think, talking about grand solar minimum. I'm going to be touching on that this week
Yeah.
in a video. Okay, so just hang tight. There's so many things that I have planned for this week. You guys have no idea what's coming at you. Okay, so I apologize in advance if you get overwhelmed, but just know that there's a lot of things that I'm going to be talking about this week. Okay. Why are certain people being told to get their business in order? What is happening? Oh, hon.
Well,
Trish, I'm
all
going to
right.
let you take the lead on that, okay?
All righty. So a plane took off today, one that was scheduled, and has to do with the Pentagon, and they sent, I don't know how many weapons and ammunition to the Ukraine. Yeah. And what did Russia say about anyone that aided the Ukraine? They said it wouldn't be good. That plane left this morning. I knew about it the other day, and when I saw the flight plan and everything fully approved, I was like, oh, wow, okay, well, let's see if it actually leaves the ground. But it did. So, what are they going to do? What reaction are they going to have knowing that our government is aiding the Ukraine against Russia? I can pretty much guess, but what do you think? What do you think they'll do? I don't want to think about it. But I have said over and over in this last few weeks that I am much more concerned about Russia than I am China. And that is why. Yes, they're working together. We know that. But I don't think China wants to see us aid the Ukraine because none of them want this place severely damaged. They just want to be able to control the people. So, Yes, Leslie, make sure you have water. Make sure you have water. Because it doesn't matter how much food you ultimately have, you need water. And you may not necessarily like to drink it like a lot of people, but turn it into something else. Make it into coffee. I don't care. Just make sure you have water. So we sent how many troops over?
Oh,
What was it? Like 45,000 in the last 2 weeks? Something like that.
Something like that.
The fact that we are is ridiculous. But the Russian subs are fully set up and have been for weeks. They've been in position. They know exactly what to do, and they're on the alert. Rex, do I seriously think Russia would start a war over the Ukraine? It's not worth it for them. No, I don't. But I do think that they would react because the United States, not the people, the government itself, sticks their nose in where it doesn't belong. They don't want it. No, I don't think they want it at all. I think they would do it to get them to stop meddling. The people of, Luhansk and Donetsk, they voted to be part of Russia. They were originally Russian to begin with. They speak Russian. They voted for it. They wanted to be part of Russia and not the Ukraine. So that's all Russia's trying to do, is take those two areas back. And Ukraine doesn't want to let them go. The Nazis that they are, they don't want to let anything go, much like our current administration. So, do I think a war is in play here? Yeah, for a lot of reasons. One, it's the biggest moneymaker out there. Two, it's a way to say, y'all aren't going anywhere right now. And it's a great way to jack up the prices on oil. So there's a lot in play with this. They have a lot of advantages by creating a war. And do I think they'll do it? Yes. Do I think Russia wants it? Nope, they don't. It's not Russia doing it. It's our own administration doing it. So whether he's a rotten potato or not, it's not just potato that's doing it. It's the people that are in charge. He's just one of the puppets. The IMF, the central banks, the ones you don't really know the names of, because even the names you think you know are not the ones that are fully in control anyway.
We're not the bad guys. Well, I mean us. We're not the bad guys in this situation.
No.
It's the administration that's the bad guys.
Yeah, but there isn't one of us that can really do anything about that now.
I know. That's why I said what I said earlier about past residents of the White House who I still have respect for. Darn it.
Well,
but then again, I have respect for a lot of people.
At least you do.
I know.
I can't really say that. I try.
I think it's more the wives that I have respect for.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Can you imagine being a first lady and having to put up with everything that they put up with? Lord.
Or
I wouldn't be able to make it as a first lady.
Or have to know
I'm too outspoken. I don't know
Or
how
have,
to lie.
or have to know everything that they know. Not that they know everything, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did any of you notice that I didn't have a hard time getting on today
Yeah, what happened?
online? I just thought that was
Wasn't that special?
yeah. I did notice that. I noticed about a half hour in. I'm like, oh, I'm not having a struggle with it tonight. Jeez, I wonder, did I do something right this week? So, I would hate to see what I believe is coming happen, but they're talking about dark winter, and I don't want to see that either. So,
Getting a second wind of silly. I'm always silly. This was sent to me really quick by Dawn. Okay. It's a food safety and inspection service. Okay. I'm going to go over it really quick with all of you guys, but as well as I do, take all of these things with a grain of salt. Okay. Do with it what you will, but as always, safety first. Okay. There's an outbreak of botulism poisoning, but few details are available. Canned soup is a suspect food, according to the USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service. No other details have been released by the FSIS. No brand or flavor of soup has been named, but the USDA regulates foods with meat and poultry ingredients. The FSIS generally does not include information on its initial outbreak notices about the number of sick people or where they live. So, like I said, me when it comes to these types of things, this is not a recall that I know of yet, because like I said, no brands have been named in this yet. Okay. But Dawn Marie just now sent it to me, so I wanted to get it out there. So they're saying canned soup and stuff that has meat in it. Okay. So check your food. Okay. But as well as I do, take everything with a grain of salt. Right on?
did you just say that they were recalling canned soup that has meat in it?
Yes. Because of botulism. But they won't say a brand name.
Oh, of course not, because they want to make sure it's all of it.
Right. So, but like I always say, safety first, but take everything with a grain of salt and do with it what you will. Okay.
Unbelievable that they would try to do that one.
It's going to keep coming.
Well, right. And, I sent you the one the other day on pepperoni, right? They're hitting that right before the holiday. And then there was one for cough syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Cold and flu medication, but specifically cough syrup.
Right.
I'm like, really? Okay, that's one you hadn't hit. Okay, now you have. Next. That's kind of how I see the recalls. I just go, next. What's it going to be next?
Firefighter, you know what? He said, wouldn't it be easier for you to do a list of foods that are not recalled at this point?
Absolutely.
Find me that list and I'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about air? Oh, no, wait. Sorry, my bad. How about water? Oh, no, wait. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Because they'll find something in everything. Okay. No joke. Recall on toilet paper. Darcy, stop.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, you never know. Maybe they'll say there's glass shards in it. Ooh.
If there's glass shards in my toilet paper, someone's going to pay for that shit. Pun intended. So, Treasure Seekers, yes, they did recall chocolate by Nestle. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there isn't a product they haven't hit, to my knowledge.
I know.
They've hit everything. I mean, I was thinking about it. I was looking at stuff in, that area that we're not supposed to have that has food in it. And I was down there and I was looking and I'm going, what are the things that I have that aren't on the recall list?
I have all of it. I'm not throwing it out.
I was like, wait a minute, have they hit canned fruit yet? I don't remember. Did they?
No, just wait.
Oh, right.
Just
Maybe we
wait.
just gave them an idea. Maybe we gave them an idea. All right. So when you guys see that coming up, you know that they're listening to us. How's that?
Would you stop doing that when I have a mouthful of coffee? Oh my
Oh,
God.
I like that one. Toilet paper filled with splinters, wood
Well,
chips.
it is
Yeah.
made out of bamboo, so
Um,
stop.
you know, yeah. But no, I was down there and I'm thinking, geez, how many things do I have that have not made it on the recall list? And I was
Right,
going through item after item after item, and I'm like, wow,
right.
toothpaste. They haven't hit toothpaste yet, have they?
Stop it.
Just saying.
Don't
So,
touch my crest because
well,
that's
they,
all I use.
well, they went after deodorant already, but in a
Yep.
different way. They just recalled it. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, not plant-based foods, of course not. No.
Oh, just wait. They'll be saying you can't eat the grass.
I don't think they'll ever say that.
Sorry.
I don't think they'll ever say that.
Yes, I know about the flea collar, sweet and spicy. You emailed me about that. I was going to do a video on that, honey, and I still will, so we can get more detail out about it. And yeah, Sue, about the Coca-Cola products, talked about that already, baby. Okay. Dawn, stop. The list will be blank about what's not on the recall list. Why is
Right,
there?
spam has not been on the recall list yet. Spam has not.
Ugh.
Right. Yeah, I actually have 2 cans of that in my pantry now. Not because I wanted it. It just showed up here one day with other food. And I was like, oh, Lord, I've been really good about it all this time and said, I won't have that in the pantry. Now I have 2 of them in there.
And Lake Michigan coffee was already on the recall list, but I'm
Yeah.
still drinking it because I don't care, because you can't fool me
Yeah.
or anybody else in here. Yeah, Dawn, because nobody wants spam. That's why.
Yeah, if you take away my coffee, you're going to be pulling back a stump because I will
Oh my
take your
God, I know. Don't touch my coffee, my cheese, or my ice cream. You'll have a serious problem on your hands. You think I'm bad now? Just wait. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'll
Yeah.
check my email, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah, I will remove the hand of the one who messes with my coffee. I have no
Peanut
qualms.
butter is Brighton's prediction. Stop it. Don't.
Well, if they even try that one, I'm good. I have more peanut butter than one could possibly ever imagine, and as long as you keep it closed and rotate through, you'll be fine.
Dan, can I share this in a video, babe? Per topic. Charles, have you heard anything about this illness? Nearly 100 killed by mystery illness in South Sudan. Yes, I think it was it you that emailed me about that, or was it somebody else? Somebody emailed me about that. Thank you, Dan. I will. The all caps part, laugh out loud. Okay. Duckman, don't even, because if you dare me, I'll do it. I don't care. Yes, somebody had emailed me about this, about the nearly 100 killed by mystery illness in South Sudan. Someone emailed me about that, and I was just like, I don't know it. I'm not even going to take a chance with talking about that on a video, but I did email Trish a link so it can be put in the newsletter.
Did you?
I did. I believe I did. If not, I'll send it again. But
Okay.
yeah, because you know me with talking about anything that has anything to do with medical anything, because
That's where I'm at right now, baby. That's where I'm at right now. Yep.
you know what? I've had it. You're not sharing. Sharing is caring. Okay. Please no recalls on my chocolate payday bars. Uh-huh. And you know what? And my inventory list that I sent to Dirty White Boy, because he said, send me your inventory list. Soup was one of the things that I have to stock up on because I only have like, I don't know, 48 cans. I'm not ready. Thank you, Susan. I'm serious. Chip cookies and cheese. Duckman, stop. If you dare me, I'll do it.
Well, you know, he mentioned it, and I have them here. If I had cheese, I'd try it, but I don't have any with me right now.
I have shredded cheese. I don't have any black cheese.
You know.
I have, yeah. Like
I mean, I give it a shot. You know, can't promise anything, but I'd try it.
My freezer that's attached to my fridge, half of it is full of shredded cheese. Because I use a lot of shredded cheese in my recipes. Stop. All right. What kind of soup, though, Dave? Because I don't just eat like chicken noodle. You know what I mean? I told you the other day when I was at the shop, it has to be Italian wedding soup or broccoli and cheese.
We have those.
I'm spoiled. What do you want? A 5-pound block of cheddar. Holy shit, Gene.
Well, come on. That's a little big. You got to break that down and vacuum seal it. There's no way you're gonna. You know.
Yeah, that's what I do. I break it down into like 1 or 2 cups of shredded cheddar or whatever, and then I vacuum seal it and throw it in the freezer.
This is my dinner now, you know.
Well, I've got my homemade chocolate here. It's mine.
Yeah.
And I'm not sharing because you're not sharing.
Well, if I could throw it at you, I would. I'm famous for throwing things, so.
Lies. Would love to have you read another book to us. You know what? I do have one planned. Oh God, which one is it? Isn't that terrible? Mom brain kicking in. It's off. I'll tell you. It's terrible when your brain just doesn't want to work. Canned chili now all marked and ready to go for the pantry. That's awesome, treasure seekers. That's another thing that's on my list, my inventory list. I'm out of chili. You know what, Lola? Freezing cheese, changing the texture, but I only use it like for my casseroles and stuff like that. So I really never noticed, because I'm the casserole queen. I really am. How do you keep the shredded cheese from turning into a flat blob? I tried that once and it was just a big flat blob. Yeah. But like I said, I use it for my casseroles. So it doesn't really bother me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't generally freeze shredded cheese. I freeze the blocks, and when I want to take it out, then I shred it.
Charles, you're going to get it with that grandma brain. I don't have grandma brain. Oh, you bought it, Steph? Awesome.
Sweet and Spicy wants to know if you're running out of storage space yet.
Always, yeah.
Didn't you do that a long time ago, but you're still,
I have a plan, though. I have a plan. I do.
Oh.
Yeah. Because, Andrew, he bought a house.
Uh-huh.
So he's moving out on the 29th. So his room is going to be the second pantry.
Oh, boy. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
That sounded like an evil laugh.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Anyway, do you guys have anything? We're rolling on 9 o'clock here. You got anything that you want to ask? You can, don't ask me about things that go boom. But other than that,
Oh, Michelle. Oh, you're talking about sliced cheese and then vacuum sealing it. Yeah, I don't freeze sliced cheese because, yeah, it does come out weird. I'm just talking about shredded cheddar, shredded mozzarella, shredded, Colby Jack and stuff like that for my casseroles. Other than that, I don't do sliced and then freeze. Yeah, because it does come out weird. Yeah.
Hey, Wendy just mentioned about putting the cheese into chunks
Wax.
and dipping it, and doing the wax. Actually, that was an experiment that I'm going to be doing for my channel.
Really?
One of the upcoming videos, yeah.
That's
See,
awesome.
one of the things we do with Pantry is we hand out large blocks of cheese. I mean, they're not 5-pound blocks, but they're, I want to say they're 1-pounders, but honestly, I haven't looked at the exact amount of ounces. But they're large chunks of cheddar. And so that's one of the things that I'm going to be experimenting with. And then making sure it's done properly. And usually in the stores, they'll do it with red dyed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to actually do mine in black.
Okay.
Why? Because there's a couple things you're trying to do. You're trying to block out the oxygen, right? Which is what the wax does. But you also want to block out light.
Right on.
So the red will do that too, but the red is a lot more expensive than the black is. So I'm going to be experimenting with a paraffin machine that I have to be able to soften the wax well enough without destroying pots and pans, because that's just a messy thing to clean up. And doing those blocks of cheese. And I hope my experiment succeeds, but if it fails, I'm not paying a lot for cheese because we get those blocks free anyway.
All right.
So I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to do it with the videos, and it'll probably be multi-segmental because you got to wait for it to set up, and then I want to leave it out for a while and that kind of thing, and then another video cutting into it after a certain length of time and that kind of thing.
So how long does the cheese last when you put the wax on it? Because this is something I would love to learn how to do.
Well, if it's kept cool, from what I understand, several years.
No kidding.
That's what they say. Now, I have not done it myself yet, but that's what they say.
Okay. Because this is something that I would seriously consider investing in.
Yeah. So now you don't need vacuum bags. You don't need any of that stuff. You just make sure they're nice and, cooled before you go stacking them on top of each other or anything like that.
Right.
So you probably have to stand them on end. In my case, they're blocks. So you'd have to stand them on end afterward and then do the bottom part last.
So would this work with like fresh mozzarella, fresh Gruyere cheese, fresh Parmesan?
No, Parmesan, yes. It's got to be a hard cheese.
Like the block.
Yes. But mozzarella, no. Yeah, because it's a softer cheese. Much softer.
Because I use that all the time.
Oh, so do I, baby. I get it. No. From what I understand. Now, again, I'll be experimenting with it. I'm going to try a variety of different things.
What about Gruyere? Because Gruyere is a hard cheese.
I don't know. Probably, yeah. I mean, as long as it's a hard cheese, it's not something I use. So, I don't know.
I use it
with my experiment, I do plan on going outside of the cheddar block eventually. I just happen to be able to get those easily. So at some point after that being successful, I'll probably, take my chances at some cheese from the actual store.
Right.
I don't buy it that often, really. I have logs of mozzarella in the freezer already. I use it for lasagnas, any Italian dish. but I have not thought about doing anything like that. And to my understanding, you can't do the soft cheese.
Right.
So I'll be experimenting.
Gorgonzola. No, I've never tried that I know of. So, huh. Yeah, this is something that I'm seriously interested in doing. Seriously interested.
Yeah, well, that's one of the 5 videos that I'm looking at, and I'm going to go into some pretty good detail on it.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, this is something that we seriously spend a good amount of money on is block cheese,
Right.
because I mean, I would seriously make a meal out of just block cheese, summer sausage or pepperoni or whatever, and crackers. And Sean and I will seriously just fill up on that. We love it.
And in a grid down scenario, isn't that ideal, really?
Well, absolutely, because pepperoni, it doesn't have to be refrigerated, and neither does summer sausage.
Until you open it, yes.
Well,
Right.
right. But still, if 3 or 4 people are eating that, there's not going to
Right.
be anything to refrigerate anyways. So,
Right.
right.
Right. So it would be a good way to do it. And like I said, it's one of the experiments I wanted to do.
And as for, because I saw somebody ask, as for next week, no, we will not be doing a live next Friday, but next Thursday, yes.
Yeah.
Because next Friday is Christmas Eve, and I'm sure everybody's going to be doing something with their families, and I don't want to cut into family time because it's very important that we all spend time with our families and our friends on Christmas Eve as well as Christmas Day. Okay, so so Thursday, okay, we'll have a live on Thursday, okay?
Yeah, and I with regard to that, I'll do my best on that, but that is pantry day. I am going next Thursday. I wasn't sure if we will. So I
Right.
found out yesterday that I am going. So usually on Thursday night I'm dead dog tired. So I'll do what I can,
Okay.
but no promises on Thursday
Okay.
for this week or next. So if I don't talk to you guys or see anybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Absolutely.
I'll do what I can to at least be here or pop on for a bit, but
Okay.
the pantry wipes me out.
Oh, I know
So.
it does. I know it does. Well, I mean, all depending on what Trish wants to do. Okay. Everybody will be updated, by at least Wednesday, Thursday morning. Okay. Everyone will be updated.
You can still do it. You don't have to have me on it. I mean,
No,
I'll
I
do
know,
it.
but everyone knows us as a team. So we're family, So, all right, guys. That's all
Merry
for tonight. Good night. I love you, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
All right.
Fear less.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.